N4LQ. Hello CQ, the old friends AMnet. CQ, this is N4LQ. Steve in Shelby, North Carolina, calling CQ, the old friends net, on 160 meters, New Year's Eve. Give me a call if you'd like to check in.
KN4R.
Hello, Brian, KN4R. This is N4LQ. All right. Glad somebody showed up. What are you running tonight?
I'm running the Globe GM at the moment, but I've actually got the GRC9 up here. I'm trying to get it to oscillate on 1864. So hopefully if we get a few guys in here, I'll be able to step away from the microphone long enough to get it going, over.
Roger. Okay, that's fine. We'll just take our time here, see if anybody else shows up tonight. Kind of slow night last night. Hope we get some more activity tonight. Let's see, anybody else want to check in? This is N4LQ running the AF-67.
PA was calling you about, I guess about 20 till, but I didn't have my transmitter on at the time, so I couldn't go back to him, over. So hopefully he'll show up.
Okay. AC4AA, are you out there, Ron? CQ, the old friends net on 160 meters. This is N4LQ, listening for any check-ins. Oh, I heard a nice carrier.
You know, it really helps when you have the microphone plugged into the right port. N4LQ, W4GZ, hello, Brad.
Hello, Brandon, W4GUZ, N4LQ. Yeah, I was starting to wonder who that was. It's a good, strong carrier. Well, I'm glad you got everything running there. And how's things up on the hill?
Oh, they're good. I worked today and work tomorrow, so I come down here and W9ZAP is having his Zap marathon on 1880. I got that, yeah, okay. I didn't have my REA meter on. And I debated whether to fire up or not. So I was going to say hello here and hang around for a few minutes as the sun sets and see if I can't get a hold of the Zap man down on 1880. He does this every year. Usually has a real good turnout. I think last year it was, Lord, I was in there for a couple hours back and forth with him. N4LQ, W4GUZ.
Okay, interesting. W9ZAP. Well, I talked to KA9ZAP on CW quite a bit, and I think he operates sideband also, but I don't guess he's any relationship. W9ZAP, the Zap man. I guess I'll look him up here on QRZ, and maybe it will give me a little insight to what that's all about. So this is something that just happens once a year. Is he on there? I mean, I see the carriers up there. I see the modulation on 1880. So let's see, W9ZAP. Oh, I guess I spelled it wrong. There we go. W9Z, is that right?
I don't think that's right. I'm looking it up too. I'm going to try an 8.
Yeah, because this guy doesn't have many lookups. So it doesn't sound like he's very active, and he lives in an apartment. Hey, Brian, anytime you get that GRC going or whatever, just break in.
All right, just wanted to say hey to Brandon on the Globe Champ here.
Hey Brian, I'm trying to figure out my screen up here. What else could he be? I don't know, he's in Michigan. Good gracious, we've talked a bunch. Well, that's not it. Brian, what military rig are you on now? You're a little closer to frequency.
Well, I just moved my BFO here on the Globe Champ, so I'm still on the Globe Champ, but I've got the GRC9 up here and the big heavy AC power supply, and I'm just trying to get it to go on 1864, but I'm not having much luck yet. But I'll work on it here.
Well, I'm having a senior moment here. I'll figure it out eventually. Can't believe I know it's ZAP, but yeah, this is every New Year's Eve he does this. So one-time event, but he's always on the Collins net, and he's very active on 160. Probably my first contact on 160, Steve, years ago. N4LQ, W4GUZ.
Yeah, I don't see anything. I looked up Zap Net 160 New Year's Eve. So maybe it's not Zap, maybe it's Sap. This is N4LQ, the 160 net on New Year's Eve. Anybody want to check in?
Hey, I'm here, I'm researching.
Brian, I got an email from Tom, the FJQ. He was asking me about the receiver he saw in that video I posted a link to for that station. I looked it up and I snipped it, put it in Google, and the Google image search found it. It's a Watkins Johnson. I don't think it looks quite like yours. You don't know the model number, do you?
Yeah, mine's a 8711A, and it's got green LEDs on the front of it.
Kind of an orange frequency readout.
No, green readout.
Okay, this is an 8718, I think.
And who had that receiver?
I sent that video about KPH. This girl does a tour of it, and she was showing around the radio room, and the camera landed on this thing, and he asked me what it was. So I just snipped it with Windows has a thing called snipping tool. You just highlight it and snip it, and then I pasted it in the Google image search. It came up with the Watkins Johnson, found a YouTube video on it.
Yeah, in fact, KPH, they have an ad that goes in electric radio about every month that says they have a handful of Watkins Johnson's receivers that aren't working, and they're looking for somebody to repair them. And they mentioned the 8711, but yeah, so I think they have a quantity of them out there, Steve.
Yeah.
W8ZAP.
Well, we'll have to get on your business after we finish here. Does he run big iron, Brandon?
The 20V2 loafing along at about 2600 volts on the plate, 160 loop. I wish it wasn't winter. I found 4 other boats. There's 2 on Lake Wiley, and I said 4. I found 3 other boats, 2 on Lake Wiley and 1 down next to Raleigh that comes up to Norman and Wiley quite often. So I'm not the only steamboat in central to the western part of the state.
Oh, that's very interesting. It didn't show pictures of their boats, did it?
Yeah, I think you're on Facebook. I'm sure this is not his correct name, but Joe, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to look back. He's been very active on Lake Wiley. Actually, last weekend he took it out. Joe Bag O Donuts on Facebook. BAGODONUTS. But he's steamed on Lake Norman and lives somewhere right off of Lake Wiley, I think. But his is a paddle boat. It's a little bit bigger than mine. Interesting creature.
Sounds like it. Well, it'd be cool for you to sail with him sometime. Maybe you can arrange that either here on Lake Norman or down on Lake Wiley. That would be interesting.
Boy, I'll be glad when Christmas is over. I haven't noticed, but renter's LED lights is wreaking havoc right here. I've got one big old I'm using the Flex as a receiver, and one big old round ball right over top, dead centered here on 1864. I befriended him yesterday, so we're just now getting acquainted, but he definitely says he wants to get together and steam this coming year, so I'm looking here, trying to on my phone. I don't see that, well, I know that's not his real name. You may recognize him though. I'm sure you would have recognized the boat if you'd seen it pass by your place, so it's a miniature version of the Mississippi Queen. W4GUZ.
Yeah, okay, very good. KN4R. All right, well, I don't know if I've seen it here, but I'd like to, and hopefully he can come up this far. I don't know how tall his boat is, but anyway, that's very cool. I'll look him up on Facebook here in a little bit, Brandon. That's terrific.
I'm sure he's the only one. I was going to send you a screenshot here, but John Bag-O Donuts. Yeah, this is I quickly realized how fast I always go down the rabbit hole when it comes to hobbies, but Dad always told me we had just a little John boat growing up, but he told me the old saying, the two best days of owning a boat's the day you buy it and the day you sell it. But this is a real it's artwork. The guy that actually finished the boat, he's either taking a business or a leisure trip down to Florida in February, and he's coming back up here to pass on some historical information, which the boat's not that old. He started building it in 17. COVID came along, it about killed him, and then he ended up having hip surgery in last year, 2022. And he just couldn't bend down to put the wood in the fire, so he decided it was time to get it out of his 300 by 300 hangar that he's got up in Ohio. He's 83 years old and still a flight instructor, private and commercial.
You ought to do like they did in Louisville. They have the great steamboat race every derby. They have 2 or 3 of them out there, so you could sponsor that on Lake Norman, N4LQ.
I'm not sure how 5 to 6 knots is going to do during the summer on Lake Norman. I'm afraid this will be an early spring or late fall trip to Norman. I've actually never been on that lake, but I know it's definitely busy in the summertime. But I think, Brian, you live up up Cheryl's Ford way. I think it's a little bit calmer. Let's see, how many times have you ripped me off? I've been to your house, what, twice or 3 times? Twice, I think. Just kidding. Okay. KN4R, W4GUZ.
W4GUZ in the group, KN4R. Yep, we're up in the top 1/3 of the lake, and it's the calmer part of the lake. But, you know, even during the summer is fine, especially during the week. But on the weekends it'd be kind of tough. So hopefully you could take a day off or so during the week, and then I don't think it'd be a problem at all, Brandon. And I think people would leave you alone too, even though there'd be a lot of gawkers, I'm sure.
I'm looking forward to it. It's something I never thought I'd be doing, but I'll take it down here to Lake James a couple times and work the bugs out and get the wife used to it. Maybe that's probably going to be next winter's project, but I will have a canopy over top of it. But that's going to be sourcing mahogany, at least for the uprights, for the plywood and fiberglass canopy. But it's worse than riding dollywood or tweetsy. You get embers or cinders or whatever you're burning. It kind of falls back on the boat. So, plus, when I get a canopy over it, I can have a screen to keep the bugs out and let the heat out, or I can put plastic windows over it and keep the bugs out and the heat in, and we can do a little camping. Go ahead, Steve. See if you can roust up anybody else, and I'm going to make this pretty quick. I'm going to try the Zap Man, and then probably going to call it quits. I gave up on watching the ball drop about 10 years ago. N4LQ, W4G, use it.
Yeah, N4LQ. I never had any interest in that. I used to watch it every now and then drop, but I just never really saw much in it. Doesn't drop very far. I don't think they're going to have much success this year. It's too dangerous. I saw what town in Florida has sort of taken over that tradition. Anyway, anybody else want to check in? Call N4LQ.
N4LQ, AC4AA, hi and bye, and Happy New Year.
There you are. Hello, Ron. AC4AA, N4LQ. Hey, I'm copying you okay here. So we were trying to find you a while ago and couldn't hear you. But anyway, you copying us okay over there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm copying you well. I guess you heard me earlier. I just wanted to drop in and say Happy New Year to everybody. I'm just going to sit here and listen and let everybody else transmit. And I'm going to sit here and enjoy it. Done my 6.24 or 6.28 mile walk today, and I'm a little bit tired. AC4AA.
Now we're sitting here talking to Steamboat Brandon, who is a owner of a steamboat. So any questions you have about steamboats? And Brandon, let's see, go ahead and say hi to Ron, AC4AA, see how he copies you. Go ahead.
Okay, Ron. You were about at least S9 there at the first of that transmission. You faded away, but it's still early in the night. AC4AA, W4GZ, Brandon up here, and well, I'm not going to say Hawk because it's not on the map, but that's where I live. Bakersville, North Carolina, at the foot of Rome Mountain, Tennessee, or North Carolina. I'm right on the Tennessee-North Carolina border. But you're sounding good up here. And yep, I bought a boat. My first boat is powered by wood and coal, so I'm not sure what I got myself into. And the wife is actually warming up to it, believe it or not. The colder it gets, she goes out in the building and she puts her hand up on it and rubs on it. So I think I can talk her into it. KN4R, W4G, use it.
Okay, Brandon, very good. W4G is in the group. KN4R, can't talk here. Good evening, Ron. Yeah, I heard you earlier, but I didn't have my transmitter on yet. You were calling Steve, but you're coming through just fine, and Happy New Year to you, too. And I'm a little under the weather, so luckily I was able to not go to a party that my wife wanted me to go to, but she wasn't too, she didn't seem too sad about it. So, but anyway, I'm copying you just fine, Ron. And stay in here with us. We're not, we're just goofing around. And Steve, I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to you so you can get some order in this. And I think I heard somebody else trying to check in, but I might be wrong. So give it a curve, Steve. I'm throwing you in the group. KN4R.
Okay, this is N4LQ looking for more check-ins to the Old Friends 160 net. A massive pile-up ensued. Nobody here. Yeah, we're going to have to drag some of these guys in. I think tonight's probably everybody's got something else going on. I know Cliff said he couldn't make it. Maybe tomorrow night he said he could make it. Maybe a few others. Anyway, like I said, I'm running the AF-67, which is sitting here out of its case after experimenting a little bit with it. Reduce the plate voltage and the screen voltage down to the level that gives it the right amount of drive for the amplifier, which is AEL82. Looking at its glowing orange plates, it's interesting. It seems like one plate in one of the tubes is brighter than the other. Maybe it's just the angle I'm looking at it. I don't know. It kind of bothers me, them glowing like that, but from what I've read, 3-500s are supposed to do that. And that's okay, as long as it's comfortable. I got a little extra fan here kind of blowing cold air in on the side to kind of help it out a little bit. But it's only running 250 watts, so it shouldn't be too hard on it. So go ahead. You want to make another transmission there, Ron, feel free to do so. AC4AA, N4LQ.
Steve, I appreciate that. AC4AA. Guys, I'm making sure that we have some family stuff going today. And stepson had to leave his grandmother's. They evicted him, so we had to go up there for that. It's been a good day other than that. Like I said, I'm tired, and appreciate everybody letting me see what the AM like here on ham radio. I remember I spent 30 years broadcasting, doing commercial broadcasting on AM, and I got to liking it. I miss it, but you know, don't miss the money. AC4A.
Yeah. What station were you on there, Ron?
I worked a radio station, WAEW, out of Crossville, Tennessee. Whenever I left up there, they had clear, let's say, paid broadcasting, and brought out Clear Channel, and Clear Channel involved WAEW, WXVL, and WCSV. And I didn't want to work for a company that bought them, even though big broadcasting is owned by the Times people, but they just kind of rude. But I done that, and then I worked WQAT radio in Michael, Tennessee. I done that for about 10 years, and while I was working there, I got in the sheriff's department, and maybe going and back into that here shortly. After retiring, of course, you know how the money is, it gets short, so talked to the sheriff right before Christmas, and he told me if I need the job to come on. AC4A, back to you.
You're going to go back to work for the sheriff, you say?
I go to work for the sheriff. I don't want to go back to work for the prison. The prison, I just don't like the way they operate for the sheriff's department. You know, you got to deal with everybody that comes off the street, but I worked sheriff's department over in Bledsoe County, Tennessee for 7 years, and I really enjoyed that. I don't know if I'll enjoy working in this sheriff's department or not, but going to more likely work in the detention center. Go ahead.
Got it. All right. So, the job that you had at the radio station in broadcasting, was that like were you like a DJ or what?
Yeah, sure was. That, I done it, right at 30 years. I really enjoyed it. Didn't make no money at it. If you're not in sales in commercial broadcasting, Steve, you can't make no money.
Well, yeah, I can understand that. I guess the way to make money in broadcasting like that is to become a celebrity or something like that, and get hired for. They used to use a lot of the DJs for dances, like school dances and stuff like that. They'd come out and spin the disc for you. All right. Well, go ahead, Brandon, and unless you're ready to go see the Zap Man. W4 GUZ and 4LQ.
No, I've been looking here at I'm on the SDR listening. Signals are not getting any better down there, but I'll leave it on for a few minutes. But the wife just got back from her aunt's New Year's Christmas get together, which is about the only family she's got left. But luckily it occurred at 5 and I didn't get off till 6:30, so there you go. But hope she didn't hear me. She's home. Hopefully she brought me something to eat. Ron, good signal up here into western North Carolina. I still don't know where you're at. I'll have to look you up. And Steve, I guess 250 safe on with that transformer that's in that AL82. I don't run this Henry anymore, and about 200 watts of carrier and about 175 or so on the SB220. But yeah, real tubes glow. I'm glad you got rid of the ceramic tube. Of course they are, I don't know, they're good. I've got Alpha 76A that I've had forever. It's still trucking along. Remember Terry, WD4OUM, he's in Nashville now. Steve, if you hadn't heard, not good. Another hole in his lung, and he's not answering texts now. And unfortunately, I think we probably won't hear many updates very often because of his power of attorney. I'll leave it at that, but remember Terry going into 2024. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll go meet the wife, and may check in. Yeah, they're coming up. I can see a couple good signals down there on 1880, so I'll have to check in with the Zap Marathon. I think it goes on until midnight. 73, Brian, Ron, Steve. I'll turn it over to you, Brian. And 73 to everybody. Happy New Year. Guess I'll talk to you next year. W4G, use it.
Okay, Brandon, very good. W4GUZ and the group KN4R. All right, very good. Well, Happy New Year, and I hope the wife brought you something to eat there. And it's good that the wife went to her Christmas, her New Year's event early, got off the road here. So, all right, Brandon, well, take care, and look forward to talking to you many times in the coming year. And I hope you get down there with the Zap Man. We might go down there also. And I'm sorry about the receiver in the background here. So let's see. I'll pass it back to you, Steve. N4LQ in the group, KN4R.
Interesting sound. Yeah, it's N4LQ. Anybody else want to check in before we close the net for the night?
1864. That's my frequency standard, my IC7610 back in the background with no antenna on it.
Okay, all right, yeah, well, very good. Good to have a standard there. Well, that was real interesting, Ron, about your career with WAEW as a DJ for 30 years. Boy, oh boy, that's a lot of time to be a DJ. And Brandon, okay on the power of attorney. I'm not sure what that meant, but I guess there's certain things. I guess all communications is to go through that person. Is that right?
Yeah, Terry's not well at all, so prayers appreciated.
Yeah, okay, got you. Alrighty, yeah, I think I'll cruise up there and take a listen to the ZapNet, see what it sounds like, and go ahead and say 73s for the night. Ron, Brandon, and Brian. So good night. This is N4LQ shutting her down.
Okay, Brandon. Maybe I'll go up there too. 73s, KN4R.
73's all the way around. Happy New Year, and I'm gone. What frequency did you say you're going to, Steve?
It's 1880.
I want to go listen, but I can check now. AC4A clear.
Don't want to deal and I don't think he wasn't there. There was nothing heard. And, you know, I used to always be able to hear him signal really well, but the last couple of years I've hardly been able to talk to him, and I'm not sure if it's just conditions or something has changed or antennas. Sometimes certain things take place that seem to affect some of the original performance that we were familiar with. But, man, it's wonderful to hear all these great sound radio stations out there tonight. Glad to be able to host this and keep it going, and really enjoy catching up with my friends here on the radio. And, yeah, we'll keep, Roger, we'll keep your slot here, and John, you guys come back and throw your call. Over to Steve. Steve, you could send it to Tim, and if Tim's not there, you could try Jeff again. I'm not sure if Jeff's still with us or not. I haven't been able to hear him, so if you would take care of those, then we'll take Rogers with us there at WZRPR. Okay, PZ, W8DAP.